He does not know where he got tuberculosis or how. All he knows is that he was told that there was some sort of exposure, and then they did give them pills, and he got very sick. And so then he was rushed to the hospital and confirmed to have tuberculosis.
Tonight, an update on a story the investigative team's been following over the summer. That attorney says his client, an ICE detainee, contracted tuberculosis while in custody, including time at the Anchorage jail. Alaska's news source confirmed how treatment began days after that client returned to Tacoma's ICE facility. And now our investigative team has confirmed, while still undergoing tuberculosis treatment, that attorney says his client's asylum appeal has been denied. He's one of 41 ICE detainees our team began tracking in June. That's when Alaska State Corrections leaders say they were held for 23 days in the Anchorage jail due to overcrowding in Tacoma.
Now, Augusta, you've been following this story very closely. Can you tell us how that ICE detainee is doing currently?
Sean Quirk, John, that's the man's attorney. He did tell me this client continues to be treated for tuberculosis. He's still in ICE custody in Tacoma, Washington, and he's got several more months of treatment left.
Well, now that his asylum appeal has been denied, could he be deported with tuberculosis?
John, that seems to be a possibility. However, we're not clear yet. The ICE detainee in this story will be removed to Peru at some point, but it's unknown how his tuberculosis treatment might impact when that happens. This man and his attorney both tell me they're disappointed by the outcome. Quirk sent me a statement saying, quote, he came for the American dream and will leave with tuberculosis. It's an unfortunate postscript to his years-long struggle to stay in the United States. Hopefully, all the public reporting on the unnecessary transfer to the state prison and the tuberculosis outbreak will ensure that we don't subject future immigrants to the same inhumane treatment. We must do better as a country, end quote.
And now, has ICE responded to any of these concerns?
Yeah, John, ICE has responded. An ICE spokesperson sent me a statement in August calling the reports of suspected cases of tuberculosis at that Tacoma facility a false claim. They did add, though, that one detainee, we don't know which or the context of the situation, refused a tuberculosis test at some point and was quarantined along with 6 other detainees as a precaution. And the only way our investigative team was able to confirm that there was even one case of someone being treated for tuberculosis at that Tacoma facility was by obtaining medical records from an off-site hospital. We're going to continue this reporting, and you can watch my full series, 23 Days, on the Investigate section of our website and mobile app. And if you have a tip for our investigative team, email us at 2investigates@ktuu.com.
Well, in one of his first interviews since former Attorney General Treg Taylor announced he's officially running for governor, he addressed what some could perceive as controversies of his tenure with our political reporter, Will Courtney. And that includes answering questions about more than 80 lawsuits he's filed against the federal government, subsistence protections, and his initial recusal from defending the state's position on state homeschool correspondence funding. But amid a large Republican crowd, including 10 candidates who have already announced similar bids for governor, Taylor says that the thing that makes him stick out is his record from his time in office.
And I'm the only candidate with a proven record of fighting for Alaska and winning. Again, I fought the Biden administration, I fought crime, and I fought for Alaska's economic future and for its sovereignty. And I think, and I've worked closely with the Trump administration, so I could hit the ground day one running because I have those familiarities.
Treg Taylor, one of 11 looking to succeed Mike Dunleavy in the governor's race. We posted that full interview with Taylor as a podcast. You can listen to all the In-Depth Alaska podcasts by linking up to our website, mobile app, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Juneau and nearby areas are under a flood watch into early tomorrow morning. Right now, no evacuation orders have been announced as officials continue to monitor new developments.
Over the weekend, Wrangell issued a public service announcement about increased landslide risks after heavy rain and wind hammered southeast. In Juneau, the city and borough are asking people to remain alert. Small landslides were reported in the Auk Lake area. There's also elevated water around Montana Creek, we're told.
Meantime, up in the interior, a portion of the Taylor Highway near Eagle was closed after another landslide late last night. The DOT says the highway was closed in both directions near mile 115. It's closed right now. The DOT says one lane now open, but the slope is unstable and anyone in the area should be cautious.
We are working as fast as we can while keeping safety in mind for both our crews and drivers. And once we're able to reopen the Taylor Highway safely, we will do so.
Again, one lane there open. You can follow along with updates on the closure on Alaska 511. We've got Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry tracking the rain and wind.
All right, Melissa, it seems like it's been nonstop in Southeast. Is going to let up anytime soon?
Unfortunately, no. We still have a lot of heavy rain headed into Southeast. Some areas will see some relief with at least not as heavy of rain as what we've seen today and yesterday, but certainly more is coming. Take a look at the rainfall totals and the wind gusts that we've seen. Peak gusts so far, 47 miles per hour in Ketchikan, 45 in Juneau, 46 in Sitka. So nothing too extreme, but high enough that it is a concern with that heavy rain still moving through and flood watches still in effect near Juneau tonight. That's where we're looking another 1 to 3 inches of rain. You can see Juneau by the time we get to the end of the day Wednesday, getting pretty close to that 3-inch mark. Another 1.5 inches on the way for Sitka, for Petersburg, an inch. As you head south, though, not dry, but drier than it has been. Close to 1/4 of an inch is what you'll see over the next 3 days, which will hopefully allow those rivers, streams, lakes, at least a little time to recede. But up north, you still need to use extra caution. Even a few sun breaks in Ketchikan tonight at 52, rain ongoing. Also in Fairbanks, chilly at 43, 50s from Anchorage into Palmer, seeing some sun shining through here tonight. And we'll get some breaks heading into tomorrow between storms as well. Some showers lingering tonight and tomorrow through the interior. Get ready for a chilly night. Temperatures dropping to the upper 30s across Anchorage Bowl, and highs tomorrow holding in the upper 40s. Again, we'll see some clearing to start the day, but rain moves in the afternoon. Even a few snowflakes mixing with that rain in Fairbanks tomorrow morning. I'll have more details on that next storm here in a few minutes.
Snowflakes, here we go. All right, Melissa, thanks so much. And we now know the name of the person who was hit and killed by a car in Anchorage over the weekend. Here's some details now. Anchorage police have identified her as Donna Nielsen. Officers say Nielsen was on a sidewalk just after 1 Saturday morning when she was hit by a car going north on Minnesota. Police say the driver of that vehicle, Joshua Vargas, hit another car while trying to drive off. Officers were able to arrest Vargas. Police say his blood alcohol concentration level was a 0.38. He's facing multiple charges, including manslaughter and a DUI.
Well, as election season heats up in interior Alaska, candidates in all contested races gathered at Fairbanks City Hall to take questions from local reporters and also the League of Women Voters.
Between the school board, borough assembly, Fairbanks mayor, and Fairbanks city council races, candidates took questions about lots of topics, including budget priorities, how to increase voter turnout, and how to help the local homeless population. While school board candidates talked diversity and student safety from immigration raids, city council candidates were asked if they support a citizen review committee for the police department, a move suggested by the NAACP.
I would be opening to hear both sides of that. I do think that my personal opinion would be to leave it up to law enforcement, as that's their specialty. I don't want to get too many chefs in the kitchen, per se.
It's hard enough right now to get police to work. So I'm concerned about putting a hurdle in the way of bringing more people online. I know we work real hard with the local entities via the native population to make sure that that gets healed.
And we should note Election Day coming up October 7th in Fairbanks. Early voting begins today at the Bentley Mall. Expanded coverage of the debate from today, including school board member priorities, are on our website and our mobile app. So today we're previewing another edition of Alaska's News Source's Indigenous Echoes podcast. It focuses on the crisis of missing and murdered Indigenous people all across our state.
It's called Indigenous Echoes, and it documents the cases and the efforts to solve them. Here's our Adelmi Ruiz.
I'm Adelmi Ruiz, and in this episode of Indigenous Echoes, I speak with a former detective with the Anchorage Police Department, and he tells us a little bit about what it was like working on cases that involve missing and murdered Indigenous people in Alaska, specifically in the Anchorage municipality. Here is a little bit of what we talked about.
Within an hour, we had Cassandra Boskowski identified. We filed a petition for a presumptive death petition. APD was saying, these pictures do not prove that this woman is dead. We showed those pictures to a jury in a presumptive death trial. Within a very short time, they determined that she was a victim of a violent homicide and that she was deceased.
You can find an extended version of our conversation available on our website and available for free wherever you get your podcasts.
Adelmi Ruiz, thank you. Alaska's news source has asked the Alaska State Troopers follow-up questions based on that episode of Indigenous Echoes. We'll be sure to keep you informed.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.